This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm very excited to be joined by Weruche Opia. We're talking about Genius MLKX. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm in sunny California. Life is great. Can't complain.
Wonderful. Can you tell me what you knew about Coretta Scott King before coming onto this project?
I knew general knowledge about her. I knew who she was. I knew she was Martin's wife. I knew she was the one who created the Martin Center. I knew she was an integral part of the civil rights movement. To say I knew details would be a lie, because I'm British and Nigerian, and as much as we're given just a brief knowledge about it, I did not know much in depth, and I'm so glad for this opportunity because it gave me, a reason to actually dive deep and actually understand how much Coretta and Martin have impacted the life that I am privileged to live right now.
Was curious about that because I know Aaron also is British, and so just what the international perception of Malcolm and Martin really is, and if you understand how that's different from within the US.
Of course. I mean, again, it's like a general thing to touch on. It's like general knowledge in comparison to what would be taught here in the States, as it's part of, American history very predominantly. I mean, you're not taught about, as an American, you're not taught about the Tudors and the Stuarts, or do you know what I mean? Not in depth. So it's more specifically American history that transcends the United States. But yeah, we're just taught I was taught briefly about it, but not in depth.
I like the framing of the story, obviously, with the genius title that this is supposed to be a complementary look at these two men. What surprised you most just in learning about the two and also just pairing their stories together?
It was a huge revelation to me because I, like most of the world, have thought that they were not on the same page. The world had, I think the world has pitched them against each other for a very long time. Unless you knew, you wouldn't know. And so this was an opportunity, like a massive education for me to know that they actually wanted the same thing. They just had different methods. For me, that's the only difference between them. They both were for Black dignity, for Black citizenship, for Black people to be treated, equally to everyone else, and humanity actually in general, respect for everybody else. And so they wanted the same things, literally just different methods. And that's it.
In portraying Coretta, did you want to be as close to the real person as possible, or sort of do your own interpretation of this character?
Ooh, I guess a bit of both. Coretta being an actual person who walked the face of the earth. My first time also playing someone who's lived was a task, definitely. But I was also, I did say to myself consciously in the beginning that I could not be her, and I was wary of doing an impersonation of her. I did not want to do that. And so I think with all the work that I do, especially as an actor, I can only give my understanding of what I think the person was like or is like and how they felt. Because I can't be her. She's been here. She's done what she did. So I was very conscious of giving her my understanding, but at the same time, serving her story and keeping it as authentic as I possibly could with all the knowledge and the research that I had about her.
Eager to play a real person again soon?
Oh, do you know? I think I would. I think I would. I love the freedom of fictional people because then I can do whatever I want. But having this experience and being part of history is it something that can't be replicated. I think there's a different reward, yes, reward that you get from retelling someone's story, especially a prolific person who's made an impact on humanity as we know it. I would do it again. Yeah, yeah, I would do it.
Let's talk about Kelvin Harrison Jr. for a minute. What was your previous knowledge experience with him, and what was it like working together?
I had only seen him in Loose. That was the only thing I'd seen him in before. I remember him briefly in, ooh, what's that film? Yeah, no, but mostly Loose. And then when I found out that he was playing Martin, I went and watched Waves as well, and I was like, oh, he's incredible. Okay, we're good. But I completely respect him as an actor, as an artist, as a person. I think sometimes I say to him that I think he's one of the greats of our time in terms of acting. I think he's got such an intelligent mind, and the way he goes into work is just so diligent, and he really deep dives. And I definitely learned some stuff from him that I will be using in my life and my career because he's a smart kid.
Was the experience of making an American TV series substantially different from what you might be used to with past roles in British shows?
Yes, I had done an American show before that, High Desert with Patricia Arquette. That was brilliant. But again, I think the weight was different. Again, playing someone like Coretta Scott King, the weight of the entire, subject matter of civil rights was not the same as playing the character I played in High Desert, which again was actually not completely fictional. There was like some real life references in there. But I enjoy the freedom. I enjoy the machine that is America, especially even the production. I think everything is bigger. Um, there's a lot more I think there's a lot of care involved. But again, I say that differently because of, if we talk about Genius specifically, there's so many things involved. And because it was such a sensitive and serious subject matter, there were a lot more accommodations, if that makes sense. So it's like, how are you feeling about this? Do you need a moment? Because we're dealing with some tough, heavy things. And so the experience differs. But I think the difference between America and working in the UK is definitely the scale of things. The UK is a tiny little island, wet, groggy, while the huge expanse of the United States is big. So there you go, big and little.
High Desert definitely is an experience. Certainly, it couldn't be more different from this show in a lot of ways.
Exactly.
So, and I, of course, saw you in a great show called I May Destroy You, which I feel like is, it's such a critical part of your career. How do you think that show has influenced the rest of your career, and how does it, have things changed even just in the time that since it's been released?
Oh, 100%. I got nominated for a BAFTA for my performance in I May Destroy You. Being part of something that came out in 2020, the middle of the pandemic, when we were all in a weird space and life, it definitely changed the way I see, life in general. It was an education. I think that's one thing I really like about the jobs that I do, especially things that are jobs that have long lasting and deal with real social issues, is that I learned so much. But I made sure it definitely changed a lot for me. It gave me a lot of confidence in my craft and me as a person, watching Michaela Cole firsthand wear 60,000 hats, being a producer, director, main lead in the show. It was an experience to watch her do it, and it encouraged me to be like, there's a Nigerian thing where if someone does something prolific and you're like emulating it, my mom used to say, does that person have two heads? And so I look at Michaela, I'm like, she doesn't have two heads. So she can do it. I've got a chance. And so it was brilliant because my eyes were just opened to the possibilities and encouraging me to be bold and try new things. Because what she did has never been done before, and it's changed so much. And so I'm encouraged now, especially by Me to Show You, that I can make a lot of decisions for myself and my career, the kind of work I want to do. I can choose work that I feel like it will have an effect on people beyond just entertainment, but have long-standing changes and impacts on people's lives.
What are you doing next? What's coming up for you?
Uh, I'm having some meetings talking about this and that, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes next. I've definitely been exercised. My craft has been challenged, and so I'm ready to take on new things. And let's just see. I'm gonna do everything and anything I feel. As long as I feel it in my gut, let's go.
Uh, Well, here at Awards Buzz, we love awards, so I always like to ask, is there a show or a performance you've seen recently that you feel is particularly awards worthy?
Ooh, oh my gosh, that's hard. I can't think off the top of my head. And we watch so many things and everything makes an do you know what? I'm gonna come off this Zoom and I'm gonna be like, I should have said that. But right
That's
now,
okay.
I can't think off the top of my head. Oh, actually, I'll tell a lie. I've been watching Sugar, an Apple TV show, and I'm so bad with names. Please tell me his name.
Colin Farrell?
Yes. I was gonna say Colin Firth, no, Colin Farrell. Yes, I'm really enjoying him in that. And that's something like I really like that. So I think that's I don't know, is that eligible this year? Yeah, yeah. I would like to see that wins because his performance in it's something else. Yeah.
Actually, somebody I spoke to recently, I can't remember who right now, said the same thing and said they once met Colin Farrell on a plane, and the flight attendant thought he was Colin Firth. And so
Oh
that's
my God.
a funny
Well,
mix up, and obviously, they couldn't be more different,
yeah.
but obviously have to square off in the
As
map.
people, right? It's the names though. Colin F, Colin F. So yeah.
Well, it is such a pleasure to speak with you. I look forward to seeing what you do next. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.